Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss some fights to make in the UFC Featherweight division. I reckon this division is my favorite one, to be honest. Over the past weekend we saw Arnold Allen dominate Melky Costa. Guess who he's fighting based on the thumbnail. But yeah, I mean, not a lot of people are booked to fight right now, which means that there are ample fights to make, which is what we will be doing in this video. So let's start off, discuss some fights that have already been made briefly, or fights that are really obvious, or obviously next. We've got Volkanovski versus Movsar Evloev. Book this fight immediately. Anything else would be disrespectful to the sport. I'm sure you've heard someone else talk about it, so I won't spend too long on it. I think Volk should be favored to win, but Movsar's sneaky good, 20-0, undefeated for a reason. So, clearly he knows how to win a fight. And maybe Volk just shows up to one of these fights washed one day, but, as it stands, I think he should win. Then we've got Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia at the UFC White House. Yeah, this is a great fight. Whoever wins, either Diego Lopes reinvigorated or Steve Garcia as a top contender. Both good for the sport. Both guys, good finishers on the feet. Diego Lopes a bit more technical on the ground. I'd favor Lopes in this matchup, but yeah, it's a good fight. Rightio, so for the number one contendership, I've got Jean Silva versus Aljamain Sterling. I reckon Aljo would win this one, which is probably not the better outcome. But either way, whoever wins this fight would be very clear cut, like give this guy a title shot next. If Jean Silva wins this fight, it'll be by knockout. Sterling's been put away before by Marlon Moraes, by Sugar Sean O'Malley. If those guys can do it, Jean Silva sure as hell can. But we've seen him get dominated on the ground by Diego Lopes in round one of their fight. So in that way, it's kind of like, okay, has Jean Silva made the necessary improvements? Can Aljamain Sterling dominate him on the ground? What's going on here? But either way, whoever wins this fight is undeniable for the next title shot in the division, unless it's a shit fight, but it shouldn't be. Jean Silva's pretty exciting. And say he defends the wrestling, then we're looking at a very back and forth, entertaining fight. So yeah, that's the number one contender fight. Number 5 versus number 6, I think. Yeah, book this fight. Next up, we've got Arnold Allen versus Yair Rodrigues, if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail. We've been talking about this fight for a while, right? It was supposed to... Arnold Allen was calling for this fight following his win at UFC 304. Yair Rodrigues, just terminal rank squatter, hasn't fought since April of 2024. Was it? No, 2025, sorry. But look, it's been way too long since he's last fought. And who better to come back against than Arnold Allen? This would be a good fight for UFC Noche. I know that Arnold Allen wants to turn around in September. I think Yair Rodrigues is like trying to get a pilot license right now or something ridiculous like that. They were supposed to fight before in December of last year. And that didn't happen. But yeah, it'd be a good fight to make. Entertaining. Both primarily strikers, but if anyone's going to mix it up, it'd be Arnold Allen. And I think that could give him the edge in this fight, but Yair Rodrigues is sneaky good. Either way, I think this is a good way to get Yair out of the, top 5 of the division and really just yeah, he needs to go. He can't stick around without fighting. Yeah. high stakes. Forgive me for some of these things I put in the PowerPoint. I'm just putting text there for the sake of having text there. But Lerrone Murphy versus Kevin Vallejos. Honestly, I think Lerrone Murphy doesn't belong at the top of the division because he doesn't have any top 5 wins. Matter of fact, I don't think he has any top 7 wins. His highest ranked win was over Josh Emmett. Guess what Kevin Vallejos just did to Josh Emmett? We've got Aaron Pico, knockout of the year over Aaron Pico. Look, it was a good win, but Pico was unranked at the time. Now he's number 13. So it's not like he's, beating these highly ranked guys. Besides that, his other ranked wins are Edson Barboza and Dan Ige. Meanwhile, Kevin Vallejos, he beat Giga Chikadze by knockout. He beat, Josh Emmett by knockout. Competitive decision with Danny Silva. And he has a competitive decision with Jean Silva as well. I say jump him up the rankings. Lerrone's kind of the odd man out of the top 7. All these other guys are fighting. Meanwhile, he doesn't have anyone who's closely ranked. So, I'd say shoot El Chino up the rankings. I reckon he wins this fight. But we'll get to see how Lerrone bounces back from a loss if he does. If he doesn't, then we've got, new prospect in the top 5. Win-win. But, yeah, I think this is a good fight to make. And I'm surprised I'm not seeing many other people make it. But, yeah. Morocco versus Morocco is what I have here. Youssef Zalal coming off a loss. Aaron Pico coming off a win. Both guys Moroccan, which is one of the reasons I put this fight together in my head. I'm trying to think of people with similar attributes. Oh, there we go. Both guys good at the grappling. But I think Pico might have the edge. Either way, depending on, how balanced their grappling is, this could be a pretty nice striking fight as well. Aaron Pico's obviously got some pretty nice boxing. And Youssef Zalal, he's crafty, man. He's a crafty crafter. What can I say? I mean, he didn't look very good against Aljamain Sterling. It's kind of, it was either this fight or an unranked opponent for Youssef Zalal. And I'm just trying to think of what the UFC would do, They would totally give Youssef Zalal an unranked opponent after that performance. But, this is generous matchmaking for him. And, Aaron Pico, a lot of people are kind of booking him against Vallejos. That's a cool fight, but I'd rather Vallejos fight up. And if Vallejos is fighting up, then Pico's, also got to fight up, but not as high. And I think, Zalal's a good opponent for him. So, yeah, I like this matchup. I understand that some people kind of want Aaron Pico in more name value matchups, but I mean, he's yet to have a big highlight in the UFC. And I think against Youssef Zalal, someone who's, pretty good, he could make a statement performance here. He doesn't need to be fighting unranked anymore. So, based on the rankings, this is a good fight. The style matchup is pretty cool. Yeah. We've got Nathaniel Wood versus Patricio Pitbull. These guys have already agreed to fight each other. I reckon Nathaniel Wood wins a decision here. But, he's prone to getting dropped, and Pico's prone to dropping people, so let's see how that works. It's not the most interesting fight, but Nathaniel Wood just needs a ranked opponent. Pitbull is a ranked opponent. Melky Costa versus Jose Delgado. Inject this fight into my bloodstream. Melky Costa, dynamic striker, nice kicks. Jose Delgado, slick boxing. Lots of finishes. Both guys, lots of finishes. This fight just kind of screams Apex banger. Apex co-main event, 3-round fight. Someone, gets finished or, fight of the night. I rate this fight. Melky Costa. It'd be cool to have him fighting inside of the rankings still, but I think Jose Delgado is a cool matchup, and there's no one really below Melky that should be fighting up. You could rank him with like Pat Sabatini, but that would be a boring fight and a way to kill a prospect who's still pretty exciting, even though, he got dominated. He's still exciting, and I don't think Pat Sabatini would be the choice to make for Melky Costa, so give him Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado coming off a win over Andre Fili. Before that, decision lost to Nathaniel Wood, but some people thought that fight went Delgado's way, so, whatever. Give him a ranked fight. He's entertaining, and we know that the UFC is an entertainment company. Jeez. What else? Somebody gets KO'd. Sabatini versus Do Hu Choi. I saw Tony Has Died made this fight as well. Yeah, I think this would be Choi knocking out Pat Sabatini, which is what a lot of fans want to see right now. But, whoever wins that fight fights a ranked opponent. Then we've got David Onama, who is still ranked somehow, versus Myron Santos. Santos should be favoured to win this matchup, but we'll see how it goes. That's pretty much all the matchups for today's video. Let me know what you think of them in the comment section below. And yeah, I don't have a whole lot else to say. I reckon my favourite matchup that I made, this one pretty hard not to like. This is a good fight. Come on. You want to watch Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria? Mum says we have it at home. This is what you're watching. That's a good fight. And this is a good fight. I wouldn't be hyped for this fight, but it's a necessary evil, and I really don't like Sean Silva. So if he could get smudged, that might just make my day. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, and yeah,